Alright everybody, this is the Vamp. We're going to make a training video, and today I'm going to be going over the NVT. The NVT signal chart. So the first thing I'm going to need everyone to do is you're going to have to go ahead and pull up a 1-day BTC to USD chart. I am using Bitstamp. It gives me all the history that I need. The second thing you're going to do is go up to indicators. Now I already have this in my favorites. It's under NVT signal network value to transactions. A glider fund is the one I use. You're going to select that. Okay. Now the very first thing you need to understand about the NVT chart. So the NVT chart is used to call tops and bottoms, right? So that's the main thing we're going to use the NVT chart for. One of the key things we're looking for on the NVT indicator is 150 equals the overbought area, right? So overbought, and 45 technically equals the oversold area, or we're going to call this the bottom, right? And we're going to call this one the top. Okay, and we're going to, there you go, top. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get your chart, and you're going to go ahead and you're going to grab a horizontal line over here on the left. We're going to grab a horizontal line. You're going to drag it down here to 150. Okay, as close as you can get right there. You're going to drop that line. All right, now I'm going to make that red. That's my overbought line, right? That's danger. So you're looking for a short at that point. Okay, so everything up here, you're looking to short this. This is all the short territory. So this is all you're looking to short, anything up over 150. All right, and we're going to show you how this gets a little more difficult over at the top we had over here. And definitely challenging on this is sideways motion we had over here, the sideways movement. But now we're going to go ahead and we're going to set our bottom side. So we're going to go all the way down here to 45. Like I'm 44.9 right in there. Now now we're going to make this one green. Now I also like to pretty much, I'll go from 45 to 48 to 51 even. Right, so I don't mind 45 to 51. You can find some. Actually, I take that. Yeah, you can find some bottoms at 40 at 51 range, and we'll zoom in and I'll show you. There's a couple in here, like these really tight ones. These also would have been, you would have considered these bottom plays, even though the true NVT line you're looking for is 45. There are some really nice calls you could have made off of the 51 area, a little over the 45. So there is a little range at the bottom. The top side is much more challenging, though, I feel, to call a lot of these longs. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to get down here, start marking our bottoms, right? When did the NVT chart call really the true bottoms? And we're going to start to dig in here and mark them out. And there we go. All right. And then, of course, the very beginning, still a bottom, right? Now, it's pretty easy. Now, the next thing you could do, there's multiple ways to go ahead and track these down in order to back test this, right? You could just come over here and say, okay, there, right? That would be a green, right? And then, so there'll be a long trade, another long trade, another long trade, another long trade, and a long trade. Missed that one for some reason. Right, and a long trade, and then we're going to do the same for shorts, right? You're going to drop your shorts. You're going to be red. Don't. Yeah, right. Ooh, that was a tough. See how these get really tough to call up there. These top side ones, right? You're going to have to. Right there. This one is just unbelievable. This one would be super challenging to call. And then this one is just a nightmare, right? Super nightmare, very challenging to call. Now you can see, now we're going to go, what we're going to do is we're going to start to dig into this chart now. Okay, because we want to see where's our tops and bottoms at. All right. Right, gonna slide this over because we're getting a little tighter. Ah, super hard. See how you would have had a very challenging time. Now let's so the first thing we want to do is we want to go down here. Once we get these these tops and bottoms all sorted, and we want to start throwing some trend lines, right? Let's start throwing some trend lines in here. So we're gonna, you would have used this trend line. This would have been your shorting trend line, right? That would have been your shorting trend line. You would have been looking for the short, same thing, right? Same thing. Okay, then you're going to be looking for your long trade, right? So we'll do that as green, right? So you can basically look at these beautiful trend lines all the way down, right? You could have just made a channel with this, right? Boom, all the way down, boom, all the way down, and you could have found your way all the way down to the bottom there. Found your way to the bottom, channel there, right? So on and so forth, right? And then you can go ahead and you can dig in and say, hey, did that really work? All right, and get us throw our red, right? There we go. That one's gonna be a red. And another red. And where's our green? So we're gonna have to find our green, right? So you're gonna have to go all the way back here. Now this one, when I really dug into this one, you can use the top side of this. Was a lot easier to use. When I used the top side of that channel, the top side of that channel would have been way easier to find that, okay? And now, once you get up into here, you know that this is where you can start to look for your shorts. And you see this plays out in a very fast timeline over here, right? This happened just over days, right? So you really had this, you know, you had this polar shot, this moon shot right here that was completely into the overbought range. It just overheated. And then as soon as this baby got up here, it was just literally 2 days. Boom, huge drop in 2 days, massive drop, total capitulation on that candle retrace. Now you didn't find the true bottom until you got way over here. But once again, this is why I say you can go a little higher with this into the 51 range, because you know, you take a look here, you would have found the bottom right here. You know, you could have found that bottom right here, played this as a nice trade. You would have retraced a little bit, but you still would have been in here very low. And then, you know, now when this flipped over green on the bottom side, you would have been golden to start scooping up your BTC anywhere in this green area and just holding. You just would have held the living bejesus out of it. The challenge is over on these top sides, it gets a lot harder to play because there's a lot of swinging around on this before it finally takes off. It's a lot easier to find the bottoms, it seems like, than it does to find the tops, right? And there, we'll change this one to red. Right now, you would have had a pretty easy time finding that short trade right there. There would have been your nice short trade. You would have run all the way down, and then you would have found Baby Bull Jesus right there for your long trade, right? And that is where Baby Bull Jesus was found back January 2015. So we're going to mark that, BBJ. Okay, so there's Baby Bull Jesus right there. And as you go along, you know, you can just kind of find, listen, this would have been a good trade. So you would have found, oh, what the, you know, you wouldn't have really known, is this going to keep going, yes or no? And then with the NVT chart, you would have been known, you want to know that, yes, this has reversed. I can see this is reversed using my NVT chart. And I'm going to start scooping up, right? Now, this is also why I have this a little higher. I think you go a little higher than 45 here because you would have caught this consolidation also, and you would have caught that trade up, right? So this one right there, just a little higher than your 45, and then, but you would have caught that beautiful trade all the way up. Now, as we got up here, this is where this gets super ugly, okay? So we're going to first do our trend lines, right? I mean, pretty much just to the moon, right? to the damn moon, right? Your trend line would have gone to here. See right there, in line with the first red tick. Now, everything that happened over this would have been just brutal to trade, but you would have known that the end was coming. right? You would have known basically at this point, which would have been so difficult because you're talking your 12,000. I mean, look at this, up and then down a 3,000 point candle. You literally had $3,000 swing days up here. This is very, very challenging to trade all of this right up in here. Right? Very challenging to trade this right here. Okay, this would have been ugly because you have these massive ups, massive downs, and then you finally found your capitulation at the very top. See, as soon as this turned from red to blue, right? That was it. You knew it was over. You knew the party was over. You could have held on to your short from there all the way. And in fact, people who probably used this chart back there in 2017 are right now still probably holding on to that trade to this day. Can you imagine having the NVT chart back here if I would have had it back in, late 2017? I would have just destroyed it on this short. And if you would have had it back here in 2016, you would have just crushed this baby. I mean, you would have just crushed full-blown Lambos, the whole 9 yards, living the life, right? So now you easily found the bottom here too, right? You easily found the bottom right there. There's your bottom. You did the same thing. You just chased the NVT chart to the bottom. Now, very important to notice that this NVT chart does not take a lot of time to get from a top to a bottom, right? That was literally 46 days to get from that top to that bottom. That is not a lot of time. All right, this chart moves very quickly. It's not like you got to wait around for this baby, right? I mean, we are really travel 20 days right here. We have put in a massive retracement on the NVT chart. And once again, this is why I have been calling for baby bull Jesus, anywhere from now to the end of the first quarter, right? I'm looking in here, February, March sometime, right? January, February, March, 3 months into there. So whatever that is, there we go, right in there. Yeah, there. Okay, so right in here, this is where I am thinking baby bull Jesus. Baby bull Jesus could come tomorrow, right? And I'm going to make this white. So baby bull Jesus is right here. This chart is going to find baby bull Jesus for us again, and we're going to know when it hits. Now, we've got to remember, you can get a wick on this. You can get a play with them. If you look back historically, you can see that a lot of these bottoms, these are pretty much hit. It gets ugly, it gets a little uglier, and then you're out of it, right? But, they stay within a range. Unlike the tops are extremely vicious, extremely vicious. So the next thing I want to do is we're going to start to look into the chart on internal supports and resistance levels, right? So we're going to go back. I want to make sure we have baby bull Jesus all the way back here. There's baby bull Jesus there. I'm going to mark it right here. Okay, and I want to turn this white. Okay, so now we're going to dig into this chart really hard, and the first thing I want to do is I want to pull up a horizontal line. You're going to grab your horizontal line, and you're just going to look for confluences. I want to find confluences as we moved along, especially back here in the day of baby bull Jesus. And I'm thinking... I'm thinking like right down there. There you go. So I'm going to use that as a support. So we'll put that as a light blue. Okay, I'm going to make that a little bit smaller. Then we're going to find our resistance points, right? There's a resistance point. We're going to make that orange as the top side resistance point. And we're going to find one more. Right, you got this last bounce right here. All right, there's just not a lot here. I don't like this. So the bottom one, I like the bottom one. This bottom orange line, look, you ticked perfectly right there. You ticked perfectly right there. You ticked perfectly right there. Now we came through. We tried to back test it, and we're falling out now, right? We're falling into support. Now we're going to throw another support line down here. And I like this range. I see where this is moving sideways. see all this sideways movement? Oh, let's get that off there. So you got all this lateral sideways movement right in here. I like this. Okay, we're going to set this as light blue. Okay. So as we're getting closer to the bottom side, look, you got the tick right there, the tick right there, tick right there, tick right there. So you've got a lot of support and resistance. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go in here and we want to kind of get a little more of a confirmation. Okay, we're going to get a little more of a confirmation. So the first thing I want to do is I want to dig into this, and I'm actually going to throw a fib line on the very tippy top right here where this thing turned blue. Okay, now you see this retraced perfectly to the vamp fib. There's perfect retracement to the vamp fib from the very top of this fall right there. Okay, right to the vamp fib. Oop. Should probably lock that in place. Okay, then you're going to go ahead. You're going to, where is that? Where did that occur? Pretty much right there. And if you're there, nope, it'd be there. Okay, so right now you retraced a little bit over the 236. So you've had a little bit of a retracement over the 236 right there, not quite to the 382. All right, now it's going to be a little harder to do that back over here because we didn't have that capitulation fall, right? We just didn't have the capitulation fall, right? On our NVT chart, the only thing we had is we had this top peak fall right here, right? So we had this top peak fall. And if we look at where we're at today, because, right, there's where we're at today. We're going to stretch that out a little more, right? Look where we're at today, and we bounced here, so we pretty much bounced in this range. This gets a lot more challenging for me because I have a hard time finding this. Like, are we here? Right? Are we there? You know, or are we here? It's a lot tougher for me to compare these two falls right here, right? I mean, I really think that we're over into this range right here. And we've just put in a wicked fall, and I think it's this one right here. Right? There to pretty much there, right? So you got your top of this wick to right there, right? So look, that retraced the 236. Okay, let's go ahead and see what our other one did. So that retraced the 236. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to split the screen. Oops, I don't know why I just did that. All right, I'm going to split the screen right here. There's my split screen. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as my today. So I'm going to drag this up here. All right, there we go. So there's my today. Okay. And here is my then, right? So now I've got my today and my then, right? So what I want to look at is I don't like this. I'm going to go all the way up there. So you see how this one started way up here at the peak right there, right? And where'd this go? Where'd it go? Where'd my NVT chart go? All right, how did I just lose my NVT chart on this? I am just not having a good day today with my, right? Hello? I'm just not having a good day today with this training class at all on the NVT chart, right? So we're not going to be able to use the bottom, but we'll be able to use the top. All right, so there you go. There's that. Now, if I did retrace this whole range from this peak, which looks like that peak right there, right? We can see that, and then we'll just stretch this out. Okay, if this is where we fell, and this is where we're at today, this retraced to the 236, we actually backed over the 236. that would put this retracement in this range right here, right? And that range right there. And this is where we would technically, and once again, I can't be 100% certain, but this is where we could possibly be sitting right now, right? Right now, right today. Now the second thing you're going to do is, just to get another confirmation on this, you're going to want to come over, compare the two. Wow. Does this look like super the same? Right? Look at that candle. Look at that candle right there. Right? Big fallout candle, bounce back up, bounce back up. Right? I mean, this looks very, very similar right here to what we had right here. All right? Very similar. Wouldn't be surprising. Can we throw some... right, there's your channel. Right, there's our channel. Now check that out. Fell out of the channel, back tested the channel, fell out again. Right? So on this one over here, if you're looking at this, back tested the channel, and then it fell out one more time. So you dropped below, right? Drop below, back tested the channel again. Okay, and then this fell out one more time. It pretty much fell to consolidation. Fell right into this area. Moved sideways. And then fell out, right? All right, so this is how you would put together your NVT chart. It's that simple, right? And that's it. Now you guys should be able to, and here we go. We're going to just pull this back. Now you guys should have a good understanding of how to set up your NVT chart. Don't forget, once you do set your charts up, you want to really make sure that you're sticking to your bias, right? You want to make sure you're sticking to your bias the best that you can. Use your history that's available to you. Use your indicators. Get multiple. You always want to have at least two. I want to always have 3 out of 4 confirmations on charts before I look to take a move, right? So there you go. This is how you set up your NVT chart. You guys, where'd that go? Where's our little notes? There's our notes. You know where the tops, you know where the bottoms are. This is the Vamp. We're with Until 1 Mil, and I am out.